Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, WAP. My name is Jason Dulay, and we're here live at WAP. Every Saturday, hopefully every Saturday, I'm planning to do a live at WAP session where we have, a short discussion and a short Q&A afterwards of certain topics or certain questions that you might have. This week's question and concern is all about Facebook ads and online marketing. Let me just make sure that this is broadcasting. If you're there, please say hi. Please say good morning. I'm just making sure that you guys can hear me. So let me know if you can't hear me and if there are any problems as well. You probably can't. You're probably just going to mention it anyway. Anyhow, just to let you know, hi, Sarah, Fashion. So it seems like everything's working fine. Anyhow, what was I going to say? Oh, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them during this, about this topic, anything related to the topic or, anything related to freelancing and so on. Hello, Julian, Jan, Penny, Eunice, lovely. Great to see you guys here. Thank you for joining me this morning. And like I said, this is just a short format live at WAP. So it's more or less like 15 minutes discussion and then a 15-minute Q&A. Since we're trying to do this every week, we want to keep it short. We used to do 1 hour sessions, but it can get very tiring. So I just want to be consistent, even if it's shorter than like an hour. So more around 30 minutes. We'll see how it goes. And just to let you know, so we won't be able to answer everything. We have a lot of good mornings here. Joyce, Nico, Charisse, Charm, Michelle. We won't be able to answer everything. We do have a free course on social media if this is your interest. It's just over here. Oh, let me make that shorter. That's a bit long. Boom, boom, boom. wfhr.io/free social media course. Good morning, Zenia. Good morning, Jamel. I'm Buntag. Magandang umaga. That's what it is in Tagalog to everybody here. We also have a paid course to get more detailed if you want to know more about Facebook ads and social media marketing and social media management. We do have a paid course. It's around 6 hours, something worth of videos, so we can't really cover that in this short discussion. Marthelin, Sell, Bong, good morning as well. Social media buyers, so it's quite interesting. So this is for freelancers who are looking to get into social media management and marketing and Facebook ads and online marketing. And also for those, I know there are business owners. We have some business owners in the group who also are looking into get Facebook ads. So first and foremost, I do, for freelancers especially, I'm just going to stop with the good mornings because I'm just going to keep on being interrupted. But lastly, Giselle and AJ. Okay, so going on with the discussion. I do want to differentiate social media, what we call social media management, and social media marketing. These are two different things. Especially if you're a freelancer, you should know the difference. If you're a social media manager, that means in most cases, what you're doing is you're managing your clients' Facebook pages, Facebook groups, you're replying to messages, you're looking for blog posts to share with an audience, you're collating content, and you're interacting with the audience. That's what usually is in Facebook management. Also, sometimes there are trolls who are commenting, so you're banning the trolls. That's what you do when you're managing Facebook accounts or other social media like Twitter. You're scheduling the posts, scheduling updates. Sometimes you're doing research, but usually you're just doing the posts. Same with Instagram and Pinterest. You're just managing scheduling posts, finding content to post, finding pictures, coming up with some text to write on Facebook posts and posting them on different social media accounts. So that's what we usually mean when you see the term social media management. Now, social media marketing is usually, that's when you get into Facebook ads, that's when you get into Twitter ads, into posting ads, on these different platforms. And that's what we say when we say marketing in most cases. Here, when you do marketing, you're looking more at numbers as well. You're looking at conversion rates and cost per impression, cost per clicks, leads, prospects, and it can get a little more complicated because you're dealing with advertisements. So if you want to become a social media marketer, your job will not only be to make beautiful pictures and come up with nice text. That's important, but more important is looking at the numbers, making sure that your clients are making money, that people are clicking on the ads, people are buying, and that's really what a social media marketer does. Sometimes social media marketers, they don't need to create the graphics, they don't need to create the designs of ads and so on. They can even hire a graphic designer to do that. But the marketer is important because he's making sure that the client is making money from the ads and so on. Okay, so I hope you see the difference there. So if you want to become a marketer, you have to learn about what works. You have to learn about conversion rates. You have to learn about impressions, leads, prospects, and so on. And those are things we teach in the course, in the full course. So just differentiating the two. And if you have any other questions about that, just let me know in the comments so I can answer those questions, okay? Now, in terms of online marketing, online marketing is very broad. You have search engine optimization, you have pay-per-click, you have AdWords, you have social media ads, you have blogs, you have email marketing. It's a very broad world. But one thing you have to understand is, and this is something that a lot of Filipino companies don't understand yet, is that it's different from traditional advertising. Okay, when we're talking about traditional advertising, when we're talking about traditional advertising, we have TV ads, we have radio ads, we have newspaper ads, magazine ads, right? And with TV ads, the thing is with TV ads, okay, we're watching Showtime or something. I don't really watch TV anymore. We're watching Showtime, and in the middle there's an ad that comes up, right? And that's what we call interruption marketing, because it's interrupting what you want to do. You want to watch a TV show, and an ad comes up. You're being interrupted. Interruption marketing. And the thing is, with TV ads, it's hard to skip them. You're forced to sit there and just watch. Of course, you can change the channel. You can make the TV softer, but in most cases, you're kind of forced to actually watch the ad. And then we have these, and our traditional Filipino companies are very good at traditional marketing. Very good because we come up with these songs, these jingles. And it's different with online marketing because people have the option to skip. People have the option to scroll down and just ignore ads. And we've become very good at this. We've become very good at identifying ads. And just think about yourself. Yourself as a user. You use Facebook. You're on Facebook right now. You're watching me on Facebook. So you use Facebook. You see ads on Facebook. You see ads on different websites. And in most cases, we are very good at identifying what is an ad and what's not an ad, right? Like we're on Facebook, we want to see pictures of our friends' babies, or people getting married, people going on vacation, of dinners and so on, of nice food, and we see an ad in the middle, we're just going to ignore it. So that's something you have to keep in mind in online marketing. In online marketing, people have more of a choice. It's still interruption marketing in the sense that you're being interrupted. When you're looking at baby pictures and an ad comes up, you're being interrupted, but people have much more of a choice just to scroll down and ignore the ad. And then there's another kind of marketing, though. There's another kind of marketing called permission marketing. And permission marketing is when you get permission to market to somebody, to sell somebody your product and services. And usually this is getting people on an email list, on a newsletter, and so on. And in most cases, when it comes to online marketing, well, in all cases, permission marketing is a lot better than interruption marketing, because when you have permission marketing, you already have permission, and you're able to build a relationship with your audience rather than just interrupt them and try to sell them something. If you notice, I'm not sure how many of you, well, even if you're a business owner, or if you're a freelancer and you've put up ads saying, buy my product now, they don't work, because once again, online, people are a lot more, they're a lot more familiar, and they can really identify ads, compared to traditional advertising. So you have to approach online marketing very, very, very differently from what we see on TV. When you're doing, for example, let's take Facebook ads, for example. I know some of you guys have been doing Facebook ads, and we even have a question. We had some questions about objectives for Facebook ads. So when you're creating Facebook ads, usually you're asked what your objective is: awareness, consideration, or conversion. Those are 3 different objectives. Awareness means that you want people to be aware of your brand. So let's say that, you can name some products here if you have your own businesses, but let's say that you're selling bags, okay? You make bags at home, and you want to sell them on the internet. Awareness is when you're letting people know that you're selling bags, that you have bags. You're not going to sell them the bags right away. Oh, yes, permission marketing by Seth Godin. He's the guy who came up with that concept, actually. Bags. So awareness, you want people to be aware that you have bags. Maybe they're going to be interested. Maybe they're going to want to find out more. But you're not going to just put your ads and buy me now. People don't do that because they don't know your brand. They don't like you. They don't trust your brand yet. So awareness is when you're introducing people to your brand. You're getting people to know your brand, so that they'll become aware that you exist. Next is consideration. Consideration is when this is when you build more of a relationship with an audience, more of a relationship with people. And this is when people trust you more, okay? Because, if you just have bags, you're selling bags on the internet, people don't trust your bags. Are they good bags? Do you have any endorsers? Do you know anything about bags? Or maybe you're just creating are you a scam? There are so many questions online, especially when people can't fit the bags and test them out. So consideration is when you're getting people to consider your product, consider your business, where you're getting people to trust you more, getting people to like you more. And this is when you're interacting more. And usually this happens with when you're building trust. You release blog posts about different kinds of bags. You release testimonials and stories. This is when you're getting people to consider your product. You're not selling to them yet, okay, because you're still building trust. I guess a very good analogy here, let me just take a step back. A very good analogy here is when you're courting someone, okay? When a guy is trying to court a girl, he can't just come up to the girl and say, if you see a pretty girl walking down the street, you can't just come up to that girl and say, hey, do you want to be my girlfriend? That won't work. The girl's going, huh? Who are you? I don't know who you are. First of all, I don't like you. I don't even like you. I don't trust you. So you have to build that relationship. You can't just go in and try to close the deal immediately. And this is what you have to do with online marketing. It's different with traditional marketing. Once again, first you have to get people to know you. You have to get people to know who you are. Then you have to get people to like you. You build that relationship. So when you're courting a girl, you ask them out to dinner, ask them out for coffee, you go to in college, we didn't, we couldn't afford Starbucks, so we'd ask them to maybe 7-Eleven. I don't know where you take your where you do your courting, but you get to know, you build that relationship, you do telebabad. I don't know if telebabad is still, there's no more telebabad nowadays, right? It's all on like Snapchat and things like that and texting. But back in the day, a long time ago, we used to have telebabad. You'd build a relationship, and that's how you get the person to like you and trust you. Online, it's you release blog posts, you interact with people on the Facebook page, like what Carl Villa is asking here. You interact with people on your Facebook page or a group, and that's when you get people to like you and to trust you, because you're interacting with them, you're answering their questions, you're releasing information, you're sending them emails. And just to answer this question here, it depends. Right now, groups are working very well, but trends may change. So right now, I just quickly answer that, I'd say groups. Anyhow, so you're getting people to like you and to trust you. And when people know you, when people like you, when people trust you, that's when they're going to buy from you. Okay? Just like in the courtship example, when the girl knows the guy, she really likes him, she really trusts him, she's just waiting for him to ask the question. But and sometimes nowadays, because we're modern, we're liberal, so the girls are even sometimes the one asking the guy the question, will you be my boyfriend, or will you marry me? That's very, very modern nowadays. But you can only do that if you've built the relationship first. And that's what you have to do with online marketing. So we see all these things about Facebook ads, we see SEO, we see blogs, we see email marketing, all these different things. But all you need to do is build the relationship. And this is where people make so many mistakes, because all they want to do is sell, sell, sell. They're not thinking about building relationships with people. And big companies don't understand that once you build relationships, that you need to build relationships in order to succeed in online marketing. And even if you don't know how to blog, then build relationships in other ways. I don't know if you're selling a product, I don't know if you have a business, but if you're selling soap, you don't need to write blogs specifically. You can, just go to different Facebook groups and talk about, soap, and tell people the best kinds of soap. You can educate them. You just have to interact. You just have to build relationships. And blogging is not the only way that you can build relationships. Another thing that I want to point out when it comes to online marketing is that you have to be genuine when you're interacting with people. Because right now I'm giving you strategies that you have to build relationships, and you can't just be selling. You have to really care. You have to really want to help your audience. You can't just try to push a product. And just going back to the courtship example, diba? If a guy is only after, one thing with a girl, if a guy only wants to sleep with a girl, the girl can tell, diba? Mga girls, I don't know, just thinking back like in college days and so on, a girl can tell when a guy just wants to sleep with her. So if the guy is not genuinely interested, if the guy doesn't genuinely care and like the girl can tell. And the same with us, diba? We can tell when companies just want to sell us something, when they're kanang mamulatik, or I don't know what it is in Tagalog, when they're just like snake oil salesmen. Maybe some Bisaya speakers kanang mamulatik ug tao, and you're telling them nice things, getting them to try to buy a product. So people can tell when mambobola. There we go. When you're trying to just make bola somebody to buy a product, you have to really, really care about your audience. So that's really what I wanted to tell you guys. If you want to know more, we do have the free course. Once again, we do have a paid course, which includes a lot of really good info, like 6 hours worth of lessons. But let me go and answer questions here. I'm going to ignore some newbie questions that are not really related to the topic. So sorry if I skip those. Janelle, is ClickFunnels part of online marketing? Yes, but once again, these are only tools in order for you to build relationships. So it's not Facebook ads, SEO, all these things are all tools to build relationships with mamulatik. There we go, that's another term. Is that Tagalog or Bisaya? I don't. Anyway. Jan, I belong to the era where we only have the traditional media. We are not exposed to the World Wide Web yet. Yeah, so, and that's why so many big companies are failing when it comes to online marketing. They're trying very hard, but it's not working because they don't understand this concept of what I'm sharing with you. The marketing departments of these big companies, a lot of them are in their 40s and their 50s. And I'm not saying it's impossible for them to understand how it works. Like I'm in my 30s, I'm a bit older than a lot of the younger era. But all they need to do is they have to understand that they have to learn. A lot of them think, I already know everything about marketing. I don't need to learn anything new. But in today's world, everything's changing all the time. You have to keep learning every single day, or you're going to be left behind by other companies. Hope I already answered this question. And I don't have permission to use ads kasi may payment po. Any other tips instead of ads? I'm going to go back to my discussion. Build relationships in other ways. You don't need ads to do that. Look for ways to build relationships. Very useful tips. You're welcome. You're welcome. And Bong, you didn't enroll in the social media course because I talk about this more in detail in the social media course. Best way to get more followers on Twitter, knowing that all you need to follow is mostly big companies or CEOs. Thanks, more power. So regarding Twitter, getting followers on Twitter, there are tricks to do that, like following other people and getting them to follow you back. But when you're posting on Twitter, what you should really be trying to do is trying to get shares on Twitter. Once people share your content, then people will be interested in the author of the content, and you can get more followers. But once again, there are ways there are tricks, like following other people, getting them to follow you, following the followers of your competitors, and so on. You're welcome, Amy. And this can be true. It takes months or years to build relationship, trust, but just a single mistake in a minute to ruin it. Yes, that is very true in a lot of cases. It could take shorter depending on the person, depending on your audience, on your customers. It could take shorter than months, but it can just take one mistake, and you can, if you ruin your reputation, and this is why reputation is very important online, because, for example, United Airlines, right? With United Airlines, they made a huge mistake a couple of weeks ago, and with social media, you make one mistake, it can go viral, and yeah, it really ruined their reputation. So you have to be very, very careful. You have to definitely unlearn and learn new things all the time. When it comes to the world of the internet, you have to always unlearn and learn new things. Seems we don't have any other questions. So we did have some questions. I almost forgot. We did have some questions that were pending. So let me ask those. Will this fit? Oh, it won't fit. Let me just read it. So VP Alfie said, "Hi, sir. Here's my question. Can you share secrets on how or what to put in text and headline that will make the audience click or engage in your Facebook ads? What objective if we will be selling as an e-commerce page post engagement? Thanks, Paul." So first of all, for the objectives, it depends what you're trying to do. Are you trying to make people aware of your product? Are you trying to build relationships? Are you trying to get people who already know you to buy your product? So like what I mentioned earlier. So the first half of the question here is, can you share secrets on how or what to put in text headline that will make the audience click or engage more in Facebook ads? Um, it depends. It depends on the people you're advertising to. It depends on the audience, because if you're and this is one thing you have to do with online marketing, is if you have to be specific about your audience, because if you're, let's say you're selling shoes, right? You're selling sports shoes, okay? And then you create a picture of somebody who is playing rugby, right? You have rugby shoes, but your audience is Filipinos. We don't play rugby in the Philippines, right? We play basketball. That's what would work best. So and the text and the headline have to be specific to the audience. It really depends on who you're trying to market to. You have to know who, and audience insights. You can check your audience insights on Facebook. There's a lot of information you can do. You can do market research to find out what your audience likes, what your audience wants. So it will really, really depend. Everybody is different. Markets are different. Maybe, it depends on if your target market is poor, if they're rich, if they have kids, if they're educated, if they went to college or not, there are too many factors, but you have to understand your audience. So I'd say my answer to this question is understand your audience first and cater your message to them. Jill was asking a couple of questions here. And there are more questions, but I'll answer these. How can we get, this is Jill Rivera de la Cruz. How can we get leads or prospect sure buyers that are interested in my merchandise? Build relationships, once again. Get people to know, like, and trust you. Just like with the relationship example, if a girl knows you, if she really likes you a lot, if she really trusts you, then she'll probably say yes to being your girlfriend or something. But same thing. You have to build those relationships. How will I know if they are my target market? So you have to. This is a bit of a weird question, because you should know your target market even before you create your product, right? So I want to ask you first, before you created your product, did you already identify your target market? Because if you didn't, you might be in trouble. So define because you can't just create a product and say, you can't just create shoes and say somebody's going to buy this. You have to think, okay, who is this shoe for? Is this shoe for basketball fans? Or is this shoe for people who run a lot? You have to identify your target market first. Like, how much is the income of my target market? Because you can't make it too expensive, you can't make it too cheap. So you have to have your market first. Okay, so that's a very similar question to the one earlier. We have a question from Josephine Bayot, and this is similar to the question from Daryl Bernardo. What skills do you need to acquire for us to be able to qualify and be hired? If you're looking for like social media management position, then if you're good at finding blog posts, interacting with audiences, then you can get that. If you're looking for marketing positions, you have to know about like what I said, impressions, ROI, leads, conversions. Those are concepts you have to understand. But building relationships, understanding your market, I'd say, is very, very important. But we had a couple of more questions here, and time's running up, so we'll just run through these questions, and we're gonna end this session once we finish these questions. That I have here. If you'll choose, which would you recommend? Social media or email marketing? I'm torn between the two. Both of them, both social media and email marketing, are very important in today's world. There's a bigger demand for email marketing right now, but I'd say it depends on you. Are you a good email marketing? You need more writing skills than social media. But if you're doing any kind of marketing, social media marketing and email marketing, then you still need to know about data and leads and conversions and costs and things like that. So that's important. If you can write and can do copywriting, email marketing usually requires copywriting skills, so you need that for email marketing. If you're more on the like engagement and replying to people, then you can be in the social media side. So it really depends on you. In this generation, people now don't really believe the information or benefits in your product. Is it better to make a drastic or creative online ad instead of information marketing? So you're saying, is it better to make a nice looking ad than to provide more information? And if I were to ask you, if you were to buy a product, if you were to buy a new cell phone, what would work for you? Would it be more information about the cell phone, or would it be a more creative ad? And in most cases, it's probably more information. And we live in the information age nowadays. So information, and they say knowledge is power, like especially now. So when you provide more information to people, rather than try to sell them something with fancy looking advertisements, you usually get more benefits with that, or get more sales and build more relationships with that. Tanong ko lang po, magkaroon ng maraming prospects, become good at what you're doing, build your skills, build your portfolios. You have to start, do good job. If you're getting your first few clients, do good work, get a good reputation, get reviews, and clients will come to you. Sir, pag nagpay ako, tuwing kailan po ang class? So the courses we have, they're all, in most of the courses we have available, once you pay, you get access to it immediately. It's not scheduled, so you can take it when you want, where you want. If you only can take it during the weekends because you have full-time work, you can take it then. If you're not doing anything and you want to take everything in 1 week, you can also do that. So up to you, because we just give you all the lessons right away. My client has a hotel and needs to put it in Facebook ads. What mantra do you suggest to catch people's attention? So think about, what are the selling points of the hotel? Comfort, price, quality, and that's what you want to show in your ads. I won't come up with a specific tagline for you, but what are the unique selling points of your client's hotel? What makes them special? What makes it special compared to all the other hotels out there? Do you have good reviews? Can you build trust with people? Do you have, and pictures, like with hotels and resorts and things, pictures are very, very important. So you have to get like really, really professional pictures. Is it ideal to pay page booster on Facebook? If you don't know, I'd say no. To answer this question, quick answer is no. Longer answer is you have to have a plan. You can't just throw money boosting a page and hope that it's going to work and hope that it's going to lead to more sales or whatever. You have to have a complete plan. You have to have a marketing plan. Why are you going to boost a post? What are you going to expect out of it? If you're going to spend, if US dollars, like $10 on this, what do you expect from that? If it's just to get more likes, maybe you can do that if you want, but it's a lot better if you have an entire plan set up. Funnel building websites, do you teach this in social media for beginners? When you talk about funnel building, I do teach like the funnel of awareness, consideration, conversion, but funnel building can include a lot of different things. But as to how it relates in social media marketing, yes, I do teach that. Most experience is food industry. Do you think pwede ko? Yes, if you're a beginner, take the free VA course here. That should guide you. Oh, did that come up? freevacourse.com for if you're a beginner and don't have any experience yet. Questions, but I don't. Can you guys see the comments? I'm not sure if you guys can see the comments anymore, or if there's an error. There might be an error here. Okay, I'm just reading Emmanuel Duz Texon's comment. I'm really thankful for this. You're welcome. You're welcome, Emmanuel or Dudes. More power to you. You mentioned earlier that one shouldn't just sell their product, one should actually want to help a client to a certain degree. I personally observed you practicing this principle in the past months. I've been following your WFR related endeavors. I think it's pretty awesome. You the man. Thank you, Emmanuel Dudes Texon for that comment. And yes, one reason why I'm successful with WFHR is because I also really care for you guys. Okay. How do you respond to annoying questions from consumers? Yung paulit-ulit ang makulit. Do you still consider them as potential customers? It depends. It depends really. There are trolls. Um, there are people who will never buy, and they just keep asking questions. So you have to. It's a learning process. Eventually, you'll be able to differentiate the two. And Mark Ponting, this is live. Yes. Okay. So time is up, guys. We're thank you everybody for attending. It doesn't seem we have any more pending questions. If may habol pa ng question, you can ask it below as we're closing this out. But thank you everybody for attending. I really appreciate you guys showing up this Saturday morning. It's the weekend, so I hope you got some really good information and education. We do have the free courses if you want more information, and check out the website to learn more about freelancing and so on. Thanks for attending, guys. There will be a replay of this momentarily. This is pre-recorded, automatically recorded. So have a good weekend, guys. Good morning and goodbye.